And I think we're live. Yes, excellent. Right, okay. So, let me get everything back up as it should be. Hopefully we're getting somewhere. Right. Okay, so we're live, and while this does technically say this is the first time we're going live, I went live before, and turns out there was a small issue with the fact that I forgot to take the microphone off of mute. And there is also a small issue of, just to sort of go over a few things. First of all, I'm going to sound like I'm slightly coming out of one ear than the other because I'm to the side of a stereo microphone. Apologies for that. Number two, we are limited with stream quality to 720p 30 fps, both due to the internet in this room and also the laptop this is hooked up to is not exactly a powerhouse and is basically pinging off of 100% all the time. Had to be at full turbo boost in order to even manage this. So, apologies for that, but oh well. Again, this is because it's live. Mistakes must stay in. I did stop and redo the stream because again I had been going for like 20 minutes and you couldn't hear anything I was saying, so I was just waving my hands around with the camera like an idiot. But we're actually going to be doing 2 live streams today, possibly. I'm certainly doing this one. Technically I've done 2 already, this is the second one. But we may do a video actually building some of these, or a live stream on building some of these. Not 100% sure yet. We'll have to see how things go on. But as you can see, I have 3 different types of lithium batteries. Here is a lithium battery cell from RC that I've built before. This is a 3000 4S battery made of Samsung Q30 cells, which are the ones you can see down here and also in this plastic container. Because of course I ordered 26 batteries when the box can only hold 25, and I nearly threw this away, but this was sort of separate in the box. Now, these are bought from a wholesale company called Frogstar Limited, I believe that's the name. Again, when I finish the stream and I'm doing the description properly, it'll be in the description. Now, I have 2 of these batteries because I bought 10 of these cells off of eBay, and obviously each battery uses 4, that's where 4S comes from. And they worked okay for the one flight that I've had on them. What has concerned me slightly is when doing that other video, these specifically say on them not protected, whereas these do not. What concerns me about that, of course, is that if they're not protected, it means that they will just keep going and going and going until they physically can't anymore, whereas these will keep going until they hit a certain threshold and then stop. Why is that bad for... Now that is good for, say, vaping or whatever, it just stops the cells becoming overdrive, you just need to then go and put it on charge. The problem is, for remote controlled aircraft, if these suddenly get to a point where they're just cut off, and these are the only batteries that you have in the plane, so all of a sudden, nothing. Nothing, nada, nout. No servos. If the motor cuts out, at least you can try and glide it back, or glide it to a place where you know where it is. You know, land it suitably near to a landmark or a road or something. But if, of course, if it just goes, you lose video, you lose servers, you lose motors. You haven't got the foggiest idea where it's going to go. So that is a slight concern. So I will put that as a major asterisk on both these batteries down this left-hand side, the red ones, the Sanyos, and these Samsung ones. That's one separate 6 here and what I've already got in the built-in cells. I might have to have a sacrificial lamb or create some sort of a light bulb-based test and see what happens with it. See whether it just drains the battery to a point where it's nearly below an unsafe voltage where I'll cut it off, or if it will drain and suddenly just snap off, which means that these cells are protected and cause a problem. That might have been a major overstatement or oversight, sorry, on my part. Now, there are 3 different types of batteries. These are all 18650s. I've done videos on assembling them before on the channel. There are videos of that. But these are 3 different types. I'm going to explain the different types and advise you what I've got them for. So, first of all, our old faithfuls, if you like, these are the Samsung Q30s. Couple more notes I'll just quickly say on Fogstar. First of all, There's a £60 minimum order, which I smashed by on this. I've spent about 90 including shipping on these, but again, that's 26 cells for £90. It's not bad. The cells themselves are between £2.50 and £2.60 each. They are a UK-based company, so if you're not in the UK, sorry. Another thing that's also quite good about them, let me get this one out of the plastic case, is that you can have your name printed on them. So if you have a look there, Jake Saucy stuff on every cell in this box. Whoops, nearly chuck it on the floor. Try to put it in the right side of the lid. Anyway, so these are the Samsung Q30s. These are, if you can read them off of the label, 30,000 milliamp. 3,000 milliamp, 20 amps. Now that means that this whole battery cell here can take 20 amps. If they were, because they're all wired up in series, if they're wired up in parallel, so say for example I had a 6000 4S, which would roughly be, sort of this big, then in theory it could take up to 40 amps. So yeah, that's the main thing you're looking for, because these are all going to be the same voltage, more or less. The capacities change, and the amount you can draw out of them changes. So these are by Samsung. As I say, they are the Q30s. And yes, I have at least flown one of these. It wasn't too flat, it was still about 30%. So again, maybe as I get to 20%, according to the battery monitor, it might suddenly go gableh and die. But we'll see. So again, I have 6 of these. Why 6? Well, I ordered 10 of these. I used up 8. I have 2 kicking about, so which I can't find. I used them recently as a demonstration to show that you could put lithium batteries in this model. This is the E-Wings Vortini. I'll try to sort of show you again one of these. You can see you could easily put 3 of these across. Will it fit that way? No, it won't unless you opened it out, but you could also fit them possibly that way. In fact, I would say it's possibly even deep enough we could do a 4S. In fact, here's one I prepared earlier. Yeah, if you move the battery back, and we're able to do that because of C of G, wouldn't take a lot to fit that battery in there as well. So yes, these are very good for models that are going to take a high amount of current. So for example, my Micro Sky Hunter, which I built these for, take about 25 to 27.5 amps at full bore. It's not going to be used at full bore all the time, and also I did read somewhere that these can do 30 amp bursts. Again, that was on eBay, not on the Fogstar listing that I have here. Now, these so far have been fine. I've flown a plane on it, seems to have plenty of oomph. So for a model like that, which is going to use quite a lot of amps, then these are probably some of the best cells to get so far. Again, massive asterisk over this whole video, as I've suddenly cottoned onto it, is the if they're protected cells or not. I don't think they are. I will have to look them up. Actually, we have a computer here. Why don't we? Let's have a look. So it is Samsung Q30 Lion Protection. Protected, no. Thank the Lord for that. So these are not protected cells, which means they will not cut off all of a sudden. I was a sensible person. A sensible person is what I was. So that's good news. While we're doing that, what were these called? I'll get onto these in a second. So these are the Sanyo GA lion protection. Oh no. Are these protected cells? If so, bollocks. Bollocks, 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 bollocks. Fuck. Fuck, 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 fuck. Mistakes have been made, ladies and gentlemen. So, we will have to come back to those in a second to explain the colossal fuck up that is those batteries. Shit. Shit. Okay. Bollocks. This is rated as not for children, so this should be fine. We'll get on to those in a moment. These beautiful batteries here are the ones recommended by Matthew Osborne. He recommends two different types. These are Panasonics, I believe. He also recommends some LGs. The LGs, if I remember, are 3500 milliamps or 3600 milliamps. 3600 milliamps. 85 amps. I decided to go for these because these are 3400 milliamps at 6 amps. Now, obviously, that's a lot less than 20 that you can take out of these. But these would be ideal for something small, and basically he uses them in a drift, the ZOHD drift, which I have one on the shelf, and also the Dark 250, which, if you're familiar with the channel, you'll know I already have one. I flew it last time on a battery that I put away since the last recording, I think. Where in the name of piss have I put them? How very strange. Oh, here's one little thing. So this is what I've been using on the Dart, or so far, which is a 3-cell. But what I can do is put these two in as a 2-cell. Now, something I have seen Matthew has done is he is now using 3 cells in the Dart, which, to be fair, it's that type of model where I can see that being useful. I'm really pissed about these. So 3-cell. So I bought these. I'm not sure if I said this because I got distracted by these, but these. The reason I bought 6 is that I have 2 left kicking around from the 10 I bought originally. So these 2 will join those 2 to make a 4-cell, and we also have 4-cell there. Yes, exactly, Alex. To be honest with you, I didn't check, so it's not even Specsavers. It's don't be a fool. So yes, these are going to be used to make a couple more 4-cells to join the 2 4-cells I've already made. They look a bit tatty because of the tape and then clear heat shrink. If it had non-clear heat shrink, I think this would look a lot better. The reason why there is tape on here is because this doesn't close down properly at either side. Well, that one, and then the tape is just while it's being messed about with. You don't want them shorting out anything. So it's electrical tape. It looks a bit more messy because of the clear heat shrink around the whole thing. So these, again, are the Panasonics. As I said before, 3400 milliamps, 6.4 amps technically. It says 6 amps on the cells, and these are definitely unprotected because it actually says it on them. Flat top, unprotected. Now, so as I say, these are going to be used for more where capacity is absolutely critical and you can afford the reduction in amps. Generally, with these cells, it's a case of if you want more capacity, you lose maximum current. So as you can tell, these are only 3000 milliamps but 20 amps. These are 3400s, I think I just said. I forget already because my brain's a mush. Yep, 3400, but only 6.5 amps. But again, something that they're going to be absolutely fine for something like a Dart 250 or the Drift. So why do I have 10 of these? The idea is 2 3-cells for the Dart 250 and 2 2-cells for the Drift. And then we move on to the disaster, which are these Sanyo cells. Now, I bought these on looking at specs. I bought these off of Matthew Ogborn's recommendation. I bought these off of seeing them on an advert. It was on the Fogstar website. Whoops, I nearly dropped them. It's a shame it wasn't on camera, so you could have seen the cool trick I just did with that. So these seem to be bucking the trend because they look like dynamite, which might be the best use of them in this case. They are the Sanyo GA cells, and these are 3500 milliamp, so more than both of these, but 10 amp draw. So I thought I was going to give them a go, and we'll see how we get on with them. Which is fine, but from my very quick Googling, I will have to have a look and make sure there isn't 2 types of GA cells, or when it says about protection circuitry, it means external, but I'm fairly sure it means in the cell themselves. But actually, let's find out. Let's actually find out properly. So this is actually on the Fogstar website. Protected button top. Fuck a duck sideways. That's a real bummer. Right, let's have a look at batteries. Size, I want 18650. I suppose there's no reason why I couldn't get like an 18350 if you need smaller cells. Capacity. Let's go to maximum discharge 10 amp. Again, going to be a bit slow because this laptop's been asked to do quite a lot at the minute. So, the only batteries that I can see, at least from the Fogstar site where I got this one originally, that would do what I want to do and not be a massive fuck up like Sanyo's are. Yeah, all their 3500s are protected at 10 amp. The only one that isn't looks like it's one of their own brand of batteries, but they're £7 a cell, whereas these were like £2.50. Unless, hang on, Fogstar wholesale as opposed to Fogstar batteries. Let's have a look. Oh, for God's sake, bear with me. Uno momento, por favor. Right, here's an international phone number, so I'm not answering. As you should always do. Right, so, also I've remembered at some point I need to take my car to the garage, which is a good thing that I've just remembered that. Luckily it's only 9:30 in the morning, so it's not a dramatic issue. It's not like I'm remembering at 5 o'clock in the evening. Right, where were we? I want you to sod off, because that was Siri starting for some daft reason. Right, let's go to Fogstar Wholesale. Oh, for fuck's sake. Fogstar Wholesale. This is where I got them from. The wholesale site is a lot cheaper. Excuse me. Visit our wholesale site. I have clicked upon you. Let me just make sure that everything is going as it should do. Yes, microphone. Yes, you're on the right screen. Good. Visit our wholesale website. I've clicked on it about 1,000 times. It hasn't worked. Fogstar-wholesale.co.uk. That sounds like the right one. Thank you, Google. Let's have a look. So yeah, let's see if I can find them cells for more similar to this price. But again, it would be a £60 minimum order quantity, which I've already spent like 90 on these, so that's not going to be for a little while. But it's something to think about next paycheck, possibly. So let's have a look at, whoops. $10A. Okay, we're having a look at the Sanyo GAs, everybody. Unprotected, wait, what? Yes! I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So if you go on to fogstar-wholesale.co.uk/products /Sanyo GA, protection, unprotected, excelente. I'm so happy. Excellent. My cock-up was not a cock-up at all. The happiest man in the world is now before you. So, we'll talk about the Sanyo cells as if I'm now a happy person and not as someone who's realised he's horrifically fucked up. So, these are the Sanyo cells, everybody. They are 3500 milliamps, 10 amps, so they are better capacity than both of these, and much better amperage than this. So, these have not been recommended by anybody. I found them on the Fogstar website, and by sheer luck, they are not protected cells. So, these are going to be sort of compared and contrasted against these known good, because they've been used by multiple people as well as Matthew Ogborn, the Panasonic, sorry if I said LG before, Panasonic 3400 6 amp cells. So these will do more amps and a little bit more capacity. Shall we do a weight comparison? Is that something that people care about? Bear with me a moment. We'll bring in the kitchen scales. Literally, that's right, I went to. It's on grams, which means I was the last one to use this because my parents are old and use old-timey imperial stuff. So the Samsung cells are 46 grams. The Panasonics are 46 grams. Oh dear. And the Sanyos, they felt a bit heavier. They're 47 grams, everybody. So yes, and these you might be asking, why have you bought 10? The reason why is similar to the Panasonics: 2 3 cells, 2 2 cells, and we'll go from there. And that's more or less the end of this live stream. It was more of a roller coaster, this one, than the last one, because the last one, A, it was muted, and B, of course, I didn't 100%. You know, we had the roller coaster of me believing that I just wasted a shite ton of money, but I didn't. So that's good news. So something that may or may not happen today is we are going to have a look at gluing, not gluing, but actually building batteries. There will be some gluing. There will be some gluing. I don't know where the tray has gone for the gluing. Is it in here? I use a spot welder because I have one now. It does seem as though the hole, you need to be careful with lithium cells on soldering irons, is a little bit overplayed. Where the hell has my tray gone? Oh, this is what happens when you share your workshop with somebody. They decide to move things to some random place where you have no idea where they are. So that's going to make building these really, really interesting. Is it up here? Aha! Never fear. I found it. It needs a bit of a wipe, but this is the tray that I use. What I do is I lay batteries in the tray, for example, like so, and then put it on camera so you can actually see, and glue them together. Now, what I've seen Matthew Ogborn do is use double-sided tape, because of course waiting for the glue to dry is a bit of a nightmare, especially when I'm going to be doing this many batteries. I don't have enough trays to hold them in. Go to 3D print some more, that's not a problem, but meh. What I think I will do is I'll see if I've got any double-sided tape, and we'll try the double-sided tape method. I know we have some double-sided tape, it's just I'm not sure if I've got any with a little bit of foaming, unless it's a lot of foam, which is a bit of a nightmare. But we'll see how we get on, because I don't want to make it too big. The good stuff with the glue, I'd use contact adhesive like Yoo-Hoo Paul. I'll put them in this tray, make sure the cells are orientated the right way, and then just put glue down here, wait for it to dry, flip it over, put more glue, and then, for example, if I was doing a 4-cell, I would do 2 sets of that, and then have them sort of like this. I only realise it's like really small on the camera, like this. So you'd have 2 of them and then glue them together again. So glue them there, then flip them over and glue them the other way. I'm going to try the tape method, I think. This is my spot folder. It is the S787A Plus. Let me put that on the floor. So yeah, it just has these plugs on here. Just go glunk, and it welds them. I have a pack of. Whoops, that's that got on the floor. That's good for everybody. And we can just get the bit of metal on there, go blum, and it's done. Again, this is something that I'll be able to live stream, which is real good news. But yeah, so we'll see how we get on. But yeah, I'm probably going to leave the stream here and go for a bit. I'm going to get all this set up because I also need soldering iron for cables and things, and I also need to find the tape and just do some general setting up. And as I've said earlier on, I need to actually take my car to the garage, so I might do that as part of the break. But yes, I'm very, very lucky with these cells here that they are unprotected, because unprotected is always best. We all know this. So we will go from there. So I will end this stream here. Thank you all for watching. If you're watching the VOD or the video of demand version on this, leave a like. You can leave a like on the live one as well, I think. I don't really know because I don't really do YouTube live streaming. Subscribe if you are new. And yes, leave in a comment if you have any questions about these batteries. Again, it's a bit rambly, but that's live for you. And yes, I'll see you all possibly later today or another day where I have the house to myself and can do these things without risk of interruption. But thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.